Welcome to Driveway Garage. Today I'm changing the oil on a 2013 Subaru Outback with a 2.5. It's a pretty easy job. I'll show you what I have. So here's the Subaru, and the oil filter is on the driver's side right at the front of the motor. Mine was not too tight, so I got it started. You just unscrew that and then throw it away. Get rid of it in an appropriate manner, I guess. This is where you add the oil. Just have to unscrew that. It takes 0W20, which it should say on here someplace. There it is, 0W20. Takes 5 quarts. So it will take 1 bottle. Now I'm doing 2 vehicles today. Let me see which one I got here. There it is, O'Reilly's brand. Most oil nowadays is pretty good. And then I try to always use Wix oil filters because they're really good. Don't buy junk oil filters. You'll regret it in the long run. Now on mine, I drove it up on these ramps, and my driveway is at a little bit of an angle. So I decided to back it in, go the opposite direction I normally go. This way the vehicle is more level. If I go the other way, it compounds the unlevel issue. So this way it's closer to being level. Now underneath, I think it's about right in the middle of the engine. You get down here and you can see the exhaust here. Let's back this out just ever so slightly. Almost right in the middle, that's where your drain plug is, and that's a 17 millimeter. So just crack that baby loose. Remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty. And I use this magnet because I just drove the vehicle and it's really hot. So I use this extendo magnet to pull it out, so I didn't have to hang on to that hot bolt. And then I got it out of there and drained it into this old painter's pan that I use because it holds quite a bit of oil. I'm just going to let it sit there and drip dry for a little bit. I'll go up above, finish taking my filter off, and show you that. Now, if you're like me and you just drove your vehicle, you want to put on a glove or grab a rag because this is going to be pretty hot and you don't want to burn yourself. I like these kind of oil filters. I like the Wix oil filters, but I like the way Subaru does it, where all the oil drains back into the motor and you don't have to take off an oil filter and get yourself burnt with hot oil or just make a mess. I will go throw this in my trash can. And as you can see, there's a little bit of left oil there. I'm going to wipe that out with a paper towel. And then I'll take a little bit of clean oil, put it on my filter, and reinstall it. Okay, well, I got everything ready. Somebody's coming to test drive my pickup. It might go bye-bye today, but here's the oil filter. I clean that out. Now what I usually do is, oh, that's a little bit tight. Sometimes you can just use your finger. There, I'll use a key. Poke a hole in there. I get just a little bit of oil on my finger, and then I wipe it around the new oil filter, because you don't want these O-rings or this washer to bind up and then twist off while you're putting the filter on. You would notice it on here, but some vehicles it's really hard to get to the oil filter. So just put that on there and then just hand tighten it. That's good enough. You don't have to cinch it down super tight. The gasket will do the job, and when it heats up, it seals even better. So don't over tighten them, because then they're a son of a gun to get off. Now I'm going to get back underneath there, and I'm going to put the drain plug in. I won't even show you that, but I'll just wipe off the plug, put it back in, tighten it. Again, don't over tighten it. You'll have problems later. You could even break something if you tighten it too much. And then I'm going to add the 5 quarts of oil here, so I'll be right back. So I got the drain plug back in. Don't forget your crush washer. Some guys put a new one every time. I usually don't. I just use the old one. I haven't had any problems with it. So I got my oil opened, and I like to use a transmission funnel because it gives you more volume, so you don't have to worry about pouring so slowly and making a mess. And I'm just going to dump the 5 quarts in there, let it settle for a minute, then I will start the car up for a minute, probably 5 or 10 seconds, shut it off, let it sit for a few minutes, check my oil, make sure it's where it's supposed to be, then we'll be all done. So let me get this oil dumped in here. Okay, I got everything back together. I started it. Now let's check this oil, see what she looks like. I don't know if you can see it or not. We'll get it over here in the light. It's always difficult with new oil because you can hardly see it. But anyway, we're just going to assume it's good, right? Hey, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you got a Subaru, and you know, it's pretty similar on all vehicles, but a lot of vehicles, the oil filter's down below, and sometimes it's in a really awkward position. It's a bugger to get it out of there. I worked on some pickups that it's a nightmare getting the filter out without burning yourself and making a mess. In fact, a lot of times, if I didn't have to go down and get the stuff for this, I would have just changed the oil while it was cold, because everything's already settled to the bottom. People always say, well, you got to start it, let it warm up, move the stuff around, let it settle to the bottom. Well, it already settled to the bottom from the last time you drove it. So why start it, stir it all up, wait for it to go back down again? You shouldn't have that much junk in your oil anyway. But if you just jack it up, change the oil while it's cold, yeah, it won't run out as fast, but this oil's not very thick, so I think we're good. And I don't have a white marker. I really need to get one. It's good to write the mileage or the date on your oil filter so you can remember when you did it. I usually, like my wife's vehicle, it's a newer Subaru. Every 5,000 miles I change the oil, that way I can keep track of it. This one, it's sitting at I think 145 right now, so it'll be easy to remember. But I am going to sell it, so it won't matter, but at least I can tell the next guy. Thanks for watching. Hope it helps somebody. Have a great one.